Hey everyone, Gunnar here. I'm thought I'd throw out this little quick vlog for everybody to kind of give an idea of what's going to be going on with the channel, what I'm going to be doing as far as my plan moving from the end of this month onward, and kind of explain why I haven't really had much content since the end of Grim Dawn. What's happened is basically work got a little crazy. January is a crazy month for us. It just is the way it is. And I've also got pegged to work nights 3 weeks out of this month. So it makes things a little bit funky for me as far as trying to find time to both get stuff done around the house and also be able to game. So on top of that, finding time to actually record something has been a bit difficult. So uh, so that's pretty much why I haven't been having much in Grim Dawn or really much outside of the Grim Dawn and the Adventures of Van Helsing. I wanted to have a lot more this month and during the holidays and everything, and it just didn't pan out. So hopefully, moving forward, we'll have a lot more content for everybody. But speaking of which, let's go into what we're going to be doing for the next couple of weeks. So one of the things that occurred after I got done with Grim Dawn is I still felt kind of bit by the action RPG bug. So I was like, well, let's go into Path of Exile because Path of Exile is probably the premier one right now. I mean, everybody obviously there's a lot of people that think about Diablo 3, but if you want like the deepest experience, Path of Exile is it. So I decided to go ahead and open that bad boy back up because there's been some updates recently, and definitely got hooked. So I'll be looking to do that through the end of the month. What I'll be doing as far as videos for everybody is that I'm going to put out a primer later on tonight of what you can expect when you go into Path of Exile. Um, Basically the systems and everything. It will. I don't want to do much more outside of that as far as that particular video is concerned because it will be lengthy on its own because, like I said, it is very deep and there's a lot of stuff going on. So, what I'll be doing from that point on is showing some gameplay of my current character or my current character at the time, depending on whether I die or not. I don't want to do like let's play style. I just want to record whatever I play when I play it, just because it's again, given my schedule and everything else, it'd be really difficult for me to want to start a new character, fresh, and everything else. I'd rather just use my time that I do get to play to just play for now. So, but it will show you guys what to expect when you want, if you do want to play Path of Exile and some of the builds that I'm running right now, or the build I'm running right now. So it's just some fun stuff to do, and again, most of this was supposed to be just stuff I'm playing and things I've been doing. Uh, so the next thing order is basically Street Fighter Five. Obviously, I've talked about that before. I've been um, playing the beta. I've been playing Ultra Street Fighter 4 to prepare and all this other stuff. Obviously, I've gotten out of it recently because I got bit with like I said, the action RPG bug. But we need to kind of start settling in and really getting ready for that to launch. So, because of that, we're going to be starting the stream finally on January 31st. Uh, it's Sunday, which is an easy day for me to stream a lot of hours. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking Guile for a spin. Guile's not a character that I normally play. Usually my characters are like grapplers. But anybody that's knows me from the Yomi community knows I love my grapplers. So mostly T-Hawk. T-Hawk's probably the character I'm best with. But I've been playing some other characters to kind of get a better understanding of everything. Like the Fireball game, your spacing, anti-airs and all that. I've been playing some Ryus, some Sagat, uh, but some M. Bison too, just because he's fun as hell. But so I wanted to take the opportunity to learn a character that has very base fundamentals and really figure out my training, how I'm going to go through training when it's time to go through Street Fighter Five. Now, there's other mechanics that's going to be in Street Fighter Five, so I can't quite do that in Street Fighter 4, but I can at least get myself down a process. So that's what I'm going to be basically doing on the stream and doing with my time, my game time, is taking Guile and learning that. And again, the reason why I'm using Guile is because Guile's a very fundamental character. He has only two specials, and he has a lot of important normals. And that's really, I think, lines up very well with what's going on with Street Fighter Five. Is that normals and footsies are going to be very big coming up. So being able to understand your normals and what they do and the spacing of them and how they get used in the footsie game is going to make a very big difference. So it's a character I think that is basic enough where I can kind of boil things down very easily and just basically learn true fundamentals, um, or at least get down a pattern in training mode to be able to learn those true fundamentals. So that's why I'm using Guile. That's what I'm going to be doing. Obviously, we don't want to spend 9 hours in training mode and then you guys are sitting there like, oh my god, is he going to do anything? No. Yeah, obviously, it's got to be entertaining for you guys too. So what we're going to be doing is, maybe taking him in training for like 45 minutes, an hour at most, at the opening of the stream, and then just doing matches. We may flow back and forth into training mode if there's something that I'm missing and I just need to kind of, do some repetition. It may, for the first time after I get out of training mode, might go through like a hard arcade mode just to get some things down in movement where it isn't a recorded dummy. I can get some hit confirms and things like that kind of down a little bit before moving into training mode. I really like doing that because it gets the fingers going. It at least gets me playing against something that's moving in a random way, so I can hit things on the move. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing for all the way up into Street Fighter V. And of course, Street Fighter V comes out on the 16th of February. We'll be going live as soon as it goes live. I'm not sure yet if that's at midnight or 3 o'clock in the morning. It depends on whether they use East Coast or Pacific time to decide when to open it. But whenever it's unlocked, that's when we're going to start. And the first place we're going to be starting is getting in with Fang. Fang, F-A-N-G. However you want to say his name. I'm going to say him Fang, unless community says otherwise. And really learning him. And the reason why I'm going to start with him is because obviously I had no time in beta because he wasn't available in the beta. So I want to get a chance to understand what he's going to do so I'm not completely blindsided seeing him in matches. And he's going to be very similar to Guile in a lot of ways. He's going to have, he's supposed to be a charge character. He has a fireball. He's going to play kind of a zoning game. I don't know if he'll be the same brick wall style as Guile or not, but that's it's going to be close, so it's going to be easier for me to kind of take the concepts of training that I learned with Guile over the prior 2 weeks and move it into learning Fang. And of course, it's going to matter how we're going to be dumping in the Street Fighter V systems as well, which I already do have a training format I want to do for that. The things I want to learn for a character, or in this case, Fang, is obviously learning his normals and the spacing of his normals, and the specials, so very base stuff there. And then going into hit confirms, a basic punish, crush counters, and crush counter punish and crush counter follow-ups. And especially when it comes to the combos, I want to be able to learn which ones to do with no meter, what to do with no meter, what to do with 1 meter, and what to do with 3 meters. So we have a base understanding of how we get the most of every hit confirm, punish, and crush counter. I think it's going to be very important for success, and I want to be able to get those down right away. And I think that's going to be true for every single character. The other thing that's important with those as well is to figure out how V trigger and V skill works within those well. Some characters will want to use V trigger as part of these punish combos or crush counters or whatever. Some you don't, because you don't really get anything extra from using the V trigger into super, or their V trigger doesn't really do anything in that line. It all depends on which character we're talking about. But anyways, let's go into some other stuff. But so we'll be taking Fang for a spin and trying to learn that stuff. That'll probably be at least the first 6 hours, I would assume. And then after that, we might jump into other characters. But It all depends on how I feel. I mean, if Fang doesn't fit, Fang doesn't fit for me, and we'll just move on to the next one. But I want to at least get an understanding of those base things before moving on to another character. And the idea that we're going to be following through the rest of the month and the rest of the time I'm going to be working on this until we get to a certain point is trying to learn every single character and learn those things for every single character. And I don't mean getting it down 100% of the time, but at least having like a good understanding of what the character is trying to do in those situations, because it'll definitely help once I do pick a main, when it's time to do matchups with those characters. So we're going to learn all those basics. We're going to learn the basics for all the characters and get a good understanding of the basics for all 16 characters. And now is the best time to do it because there's only 16 characters. If I was trying to do that with Ultra Street Fighter 4, there's 44 characters to go through. It takes so long to go through all that. This way, probably the first 2 weeks, maybe even a month to go through all 16 characters, but it's the only time I'm going to have to do that because characters are going to come one at a time after that, so I'll only have to learn the new character as it comes in, which is going to be a lot easier as the game progresses to learn new characters and understand new characters as they come in. The other thing it's going to do for me too is it's going to be able to allow me to choose a main fairly quickly and easily. What I mean by quickly is I have a tendency to kind of hop around, especially with my Ultra Street Fighter 4 period. I really wouldn't say I'm the main other than T-Hawk because, I mean, he's the one I spent the most time with, but I always wanted to see what all the other characters did and try to figure out the other characters, and is the grass greener on the other side. I always had that problem. I had that problem in RPGs and MMOs, and apparently I have that problem in fighting games too. So if I go through all 16 characters, I'll know, looking back at how I performed through those 16 characters, which characters are going to be a good fit for me. And, I don't have to worry about the grass is greener on the other side effect anymore because I now have that already. So we're going to go through all 16 characters, learn the basics, pick out a main from that. We'll also be picking at least a secondary, possibly even a tertiary character. And the reason is this game is simplistic enough that there's no reason to be a pure character loyalist anymore. I mean, the way they're setting this up, you will have counter matchups. You will have matchups that you will get countered by. So it's important to have at least another character, if not two, depending on who you're talking about, to shore up those bad matchups and be able to play those characters competently and at a high level. So we're definitely going to be looking at, like I said, at least minimum 2 to 3 main characters, which we'll pick after we pick our main from the 16. And then from there, we'll kind of look at matchups. And then after we look at the matchups, we'll kind of figure out, okay, where do we need to shore up? And then go from there. That's obviously way down the line. I know I'm getting pretty advanced, but I want to at least give you an understanding of what I'm thinking and what I'm going to be going into. Of course, this also means that there'll be other content that's coming from that. I'm not necessarily going to be doing specific videos on every single character as I work through them. It'll just be what's up on the stream. But I will probably do some specific character videos once I do choose a main, so I can at least explain what's going on with it and the base level, what goes on with the character, advanced stuff as I learn it, and so on and so forth. Both for my own knowledge and for also your knowledge as well. So that's down the line, but that's where we're going to be headed. So I think, I was waiting for that thing to come up. Holy crap. It's just sitting there waiting. Anyways. So that's where we're going to sit for right now. That's the game plan. I'm really excited about Street Fighter V coming out. I haven't been excited for a particular video game in a long time. I think the last one I went this crazy about was WildStar, which is like an MMO with a completely different game. And I'm really looking forward to really getting down and dirty with this game and really just hammering it out. I will be awful at first. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've probably really only been seriously playing fighting games for probably the last 6 months. like really seriously actually learning how to play. And I'm not great yet. Barely out of 1,000 points in Street Fighter 4. I don't expect to be out of the 1,000 point range. It may make it to an average 1,500 by the end of it, but I'm really looking forward to kind of really getting at a high level in Street Fighter 5, and so if I can, of course. So very exciting stuff. Looking forward to it. I hope you all will join me on my journey. Um, and if you have any other questions or comments, please leave them below. Let me know what you're excited to see about Street Fighter 5, and maybe even suggestions for contents you'd like to see. Also, one of the things one quick thing I want to talk about is there's definitely a lot of information out there for anybody who wants to know about certain characters. I definitely recommend Befil. He's got some really great videos that he's been working on for some basics with every single character. I think it was all off of the third beta. He did a lot of bread butter combos, a lot of anti-airs, a lot of crush counter setups, and very based off the videos themselves are anywhere between 5 to 9 minutes, somewhere around that area. Really good stuff, really good information. If you're looking to kind of just jump into a particular character when the game opens, I highly suggest going there. At least give you a base to work from. Obviously, things can change between what he recorded in Beta 3 and what actually gets released, but it should give you a good base to start from, and I definitely, again, suggest taking a look at that. For me, I need to learn it on my own, not because I'm stubborn or anything else like that. I just work best when I discover this stuff on my own and as I play it. Obviously, I've looked at videos. I've tried to take notes from videos and stuff like that. Learn that doesn't work for me because I'm too busy. Because I'm basically doing games by numbers. I'll see like a combo, do the combo, and then not understand why I'm doing the combo. And I really need to have an understanding of what's going on. And a lot of times if I'm just writing this stuff down on a piece of paper and what have you, I don't really learn from that. I really only learn from understanding what's underneath, and I do that by just doing it on my own and just starting on the base of my own and discovering things myself. So, which is how I'm going to be doing a lot of the training for Guile here. So, and moving forward in Street Fighter 5. So, that's just an understanding of me. Anyways, we got a little rambly, like I always get. So I think that's enough for today. Like I said, later on tonight, you might see a Path of Exile primer. And other than that, we'll see you again in a few days. And again, January 31st, we'll be opening up the stream and going a little nuts on the streaming. So as much as I possibly can. So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope I'll see you guys there. Thanks, everyone, and I'll see you guys next time.